So hello, everybody. My name is Melissa Lipka, and I am the host here for this webinar from ByteSpeed webinar. And we are super excited to introduce to you that we are bringing on ByteSpeed as one of our new partners. And for those of you joining, we want to give you a little overview of who we are and a little bit about ByteSpeed if you don't know. So I am going to pass this next slide over to, so if you want to talk a little bit about ByteSpeed, Clever.
Yeah, absolutely. So ByteSpeed's been in business since about 1999. There's a logo there. Sorry, I think the panelist screen is kind of covering it.
I'm
But
sorry, I'll get
oh
rid of
no,
that.
you're totally fine. But yeah, so that's the ByteSpeed HQ. Just wanted you to see a pretty looking photo. But we were founded in 1999, and our founders really wanted a company that really cared more about relationships with schools and was an extension of their technology department. And so we've been very successful over the past 20 some years, have customers in all 50 states, have worked with more than 3,000 schools, and we actually custom manufacture PCs, desktop servers, and have a variety of different partnerships, Ruckus, and just tens of partnerships. But more importantly, today we're excited to present Promethean. We just recently became a Promethean partner, and we think with the leadership they have in the education sphere, they really will bring a lot of value to our customers. So we thought today would be a great day to pick Melissa's brain. She knows a lot about Promethean, and just get all your questions answered. So.
Okay, great. Thanks, Clever. So just a little bit about me. My name is Melissa Lepka. I'm the head of regional professional development for our Central and West regions. I've been with Promethean for 7.5 years, started off as a field EC, covering the territories of Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, and then moved into some managerial roles and couldn't be happier to be helping my field education consultants satisfy our customers with dynamic training. So we're going to start this webinar just giving you a little bit about Promethean. And one of our things that we're very proud of is that we create solutions that create that environment of being collaborative, being engaged, and we want that classroom to be a environment for not only for the students to be engaged, but the teachers to have the tools in their hands to better teach their students, or enhance, not better teach because they're amazing as it is, but to enhance what they are teaching in an environment that students are very familiar with, which is technology. So here's a couple testimonies that we've received. This is from around the world, so I'm not going to read them to you, but you can see that from every role that we touch, from the teacher to the IT manager and the librarian, we are making sure that we are making our solutions that make it possible for them to do their job more effectively and easier, and have that support that Promethean provides. So you can see there all the way from New Zealand to Australia, some great commentary. And then even in our backyard, we have great customers. We have created some great relationships around the US. And here you can see from the technology director, integration, from professional development to principals, we are here to give you the tools and to give you that support that you need in the classroom. And again, you're going to see all environments or all audiences, audience, teacher, students, IT, and admin. All of these are our goal in reaching these groups and giving them things that they can either use or pass along to their staff. So a little history about Promethean. We've been in this business for over 25 years, and just you can see here by this diagram that we started with some basic active boards with the projectors, with the boards, and became interactive. And then we've got those handheld devices, which were a great hit. I had those in my classroom, and our software, Active Inspire, which is probably one of our biggest legacies that we have. I used Active Inspire in the classroom, and I found it to be a great tool. And moving on, you can see we've gone from interactive boards to interactive flat panels and introducing different accessories. And 2022, we have just launched our Active Panel 9. Again, we're going to talk more about that and the great features it offers. And also ask you some questions. So I want you to look at this diagram here. And if you could go to your chat, and if you could just put in there any of those tools that you've used or had the chance to experience them used in a classroom. I would love to hear from you what you have seen or what you have used in the classroom. I'll just give it a minute here. Anybody use the handheld devices? How about those boards? I'm sure we've had some projectors and some just regular in the front of the classroom displays. But in any case, these you can see here, we're following the trends as they are coming to light within the classroom. So I want to focus in on 5 pillars that we looked at when creating this new solution, the Active Panel 9. And these pillars are connectivity, longevity, adaptability, simplicity, and security. And I'm going to ask you again, our audience that's here, of those 5, which do you feel is the most important for you to have in your solutions? Of those 5, which do you feel are the most important to have? Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Nate, for letting me know that. I did not know that chat was disabled. No problem. So I'm just going to keep talking on here, and we'll kind of, I don't know if that could be enabled. Clever, if we can enable chat for them. I would love, I don't like just speaking, at people. I love for them to give me their feedback if possible. So if we could go into the settings and possibly change that as we go. But as you can see here, these 5 pillars were the areas of focus of our newest panel. And when we looked at these 5 pillars, our marketing theme this year is Learning Transform. So we knew that the way teachers teach and the way students learn has changed. And our product with these 5 pillars this was designed to provide that change, that transformed classroom, those tools that we need. And again, being in the business for 25 years, we as an education company, I think that's most important for you to hear. We are an education company. We're not just a flat panel company. We were founded by educators, and we are staffed with educators. So you can definitely know that our ideas come directly from the classroom. And with that, we also looked at 3 general audiences when we were developing this Active Panel 9. We looked at the teacher, and we knew that this solution had to be something that was easy and intuitive. We know that teachers have a lot on their plate. They're getting a lot of new technology in the classroom, not just in front of the classroom displays, but they're getting all kinds of new technology and they're overwhelmed. We want our solution to be a walk up, use, and have that intuitive feel to it, something they're used to using. For technology, we have seen that security is the utmost important right now. We want to make sure that we are giving a solution that is going to protect not only the teacher's information, but our students' information. If there is interactivity on that Active Panel, we want to make sure that all of this information is protected. And then finally, we looked at the admin group. We know that schools are being pressed with the issue, where do we spend all this money we have? They are given this money. I think it's a great opportunity for classrooms to update and get the latest, greatest technology that fits in your classroom. But we know that this money might not always be there. So these admin are looking for a wise investment that will last. So what you're going to see in this presentation is you're going to see how we looked at these 3 groups and all of those highlighted points, how our solution will try to meet those needs of our teachers and admin and IT. So I'm going to start with simplicity. Simplicity is one of the pillars that I think for teachers is probably the most important. If I was a teacher on this webinar and I was putting in chat what I thought was most important, I definitely would say simplicity. We know that teachers get a lot of technology, but we also know that teachers are not always trained on how to use the technology. So we want to make sure before our teachers have that possibility of getting training, that they can turn on their active panel and they can walk up and they can start using it. That's what the customer expects. So what has Promethean done to help with that with our new active panel 9? We have a panel where you can sign in. When you sign in, you have that walkthrough with, hello, do you want to be a guest? Do you want to sign in? It takes you through the steps. It walks you through until you're in an environment like a large tablet, which teachers are used to, and able to go ahead and start teaching right from there. We also know that teachers like to personalize their profile, and they also want the ability to work and customize their profile wherever. This new panel gives teachers the ability to access their profile from anywhere. So what does that mean? That means that our active panel 9 gives teachers an online environment where they can go. We know teachers don't only work 5 days, they work on the weekends. If they're prepping for that week's work, they can go online and go to their profile and customize it the way they want. We also know that teachers like to have tools handy and ready to go. On our menu on the panel, we'll have the ability to customize up to 3 of your favorite apps and pin them right to the menu, and also have the ability to open up multiple tabs and toggle back and forth between those. Teachers don't always teach in the front of the classroom. They're all over. So we have a panel menu that you can access from the left, right, or center of the panel, depending on where the teacher is in the classroom. We also have a remote that allows teachers to access that menu and be maybe in the back of the classroom and be able to toggle through their different tabs for that ability to become untethered in the classroom. On our panel, we also have the ability to capture images or capture a spreadsheet we're working on or a PDF, screen capture that. But here's the great thing. We don't always want to save it innately on the panel. We want to have the choice. Can I save it maybe to my cloud drive? And speaking of cloud drive, you can connect to your OneDrive or your Google Drive and have that follow your profile wherever you go. But we also have, what you're going to hear about a little bit, is what we call our Active Sync technology, which allows you to connect a device to be able to take those screen captures, take those large recordings, instead of saving them on the panel, save them externally on a device. So that gives those teachers that great option of where they want to save it. And I'm just going to give you an example real quick. Maybe you're doing something and a student's working at the board and you want to capture what they did, maybe for an IEP or maybe a parent-teacher conference, but you don't want it saved on the panel. You don't want that maybe available if somebody is looking or going through your panel later on. We want to have that ability to put it somewhere secure. So putting it in your cloud storage or putting it on an external device is a great way to have that security. Another great feature with the simplicity is teachers sometimes like to go between 2 things. Maybe it's a video and maybe it's their presentation. So we have that ability to have 2 browsers open at once on the panel and be able to either write over it with our Annotate Anywhere tool or just instruct their students on both browsers. Another way we can do that is, another way we can collaborate with our students is to have screen share. Our screen share is so robust and gives students, even if they're in the classroom or if they're at home, if they're remote, if we have that hybrid environment, we have the ability for students to share their screen to the panel and have the teacher show that student's screen to everybody and share and collaborate together. And then finally, we have that remote that will give you the ability to move around the room and control your panel, bring up your menus, bring up different tabs, bring up your favorite tools, and be able to move around the room and do that. So I don't know, Clever, I don't know if we had a chance, were we able to get the chat enabled for our participants?
Yes, yep, the chat is good to
Perfect.
go. So if everyone has
Great.
a question, you can just type it out anytime. So, and
Okay,
I'll keep an
great.
eye on it and make let you know as we go as well.
Okay, thanks, Clever. So of those simplicity things, which do you, and I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that this chat is probably covering up. I don't know, usually I have that so it's not showing, but of those simplicity things, what do you think is one of the things in your district that you're going to find to be something that would be useful and for them to have in the classroom? Is it the ability to move around the room? Is it ability to share your screen? Um, about customizing? I know teachers love to customize their own profile. Which of those do you feel would be something that would be important in your teacher's classroom? I'll give it a few minutes here. I know sometimes you like to kind of think having their own profile. You're absolutely right, Erin. That's a great uh, comment. Sharing screen is also big for teachers. They love to have the ability to not only share their screen around the room, but also to be able to have students share their work on the screen. So thank you, Nate and Erin, for those comments. I'm going to move to our next pillar here. Our next pillar, and Clever, this looks like this chat's in the way. I'm going to turn that off. If you just want to kind of bring those up, and I can definitely address those, or we can talk
Oh,
about those.
absolutely. Yeah,
Great.
we'll be glad to do it.
Okay, great. So let's go to our next pillar, which is connectivity. I love this one because I work with all different types of people. I work with your admin, I work with your IT, and I also work with teachers. And when we did a research back in 2020, and we said, how do you rank the possibility of you connecting to a front of the room display? Well, IT ranked it 8th. And they thought, or support. They're like, we're trying to move them away. We want to have them untethered. And I get that. We do. We want them untethered. But if you look down at the teacher's response, what the industry needs, teachers are ranking it 3rd. Now, maybe it's not their device. Maybe it's a document camera. Maybe it's some other device that they want to connect. They still feel that that's something important that they need to do with these solutions that they're getting. So what does the customer expect? Whatever they have, they want to plug that in and they want it to work seamlessly. So how is Promethean providing that connectivity? We're providing it through our active sync, which means you can use a device, any device, to sign into our panel. You can go online to your profile and sign into your panel. Then you don't have to go into the front of the room and type your credentials so that everybody can see. So our active sync, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, and we'll get into that a little bit more, but it's a way to connect your computer, and it's a bilateral communication where once you sign in or once you connect, your panel recognizes that and signs you in with your profile. Another great way to connect is that you can open files from that connected device. So with ActiveSync, maybe you have a district shared drive that's really locked down and hard to get into on any other external device, except for the one that's been formatted by your district. With this ActiveSync, you can go and connect to a connected folder on your device, like your district shared folder, and maybe grab a file that you need to display in front of the classroom that maybe you're sharing with your grade level team, or vice versa. Maybe you have a file you want to save in that district shared file. Maybe it's a recording you did or a lesson you did and you recorded it. You can go ahead and save that with the ActiveSync and put that right to that device in your district shared folder. Another great thing we have with connectivity is that you can save files, like I said, directly to the connected device, but you're also having the ability to connect to your cloud, which is either your OneDrive or your Google Drive. So great ways for teachers to connect. And one thing that's missing out of here that I think is important is you're able to connect with the panel by your remote. Our remote works like a wireless mouse or a wireless device that is able to go ahead and toggle between your menu or toggle between slides in your presentation. So that's another way that we're helping with that connectivity. So I'm going to move on to our next pillar, which is security. This you'll see from 2020, security, the concern for instilling better security in our devices went up by 52%. That's no surprise to me. And when I think about my phone and when I go to an app and I get all of these prompts that say, do you allow tracking, do this? We're really cracking down on what we're sharing. And we have to make sure that the devices we have in the classroom are protecting not only the teachers' information, but the students. So the customer, as you can see, their expectations, they want to be able to have places they go, websites they go to, drives that they connect to, files that they connect to. We want to make sure that once they're done with that lesson and they sign off, that they're protected, that their information is protected. So how does Promethean do that? Well, we have come up with a way to sign into your panel that allows for teachers to not have to go up to the front of the room and type in their credentials and have everybody see their username and password. We also have a way for teachers to sign in using a QR code. So I mentioned that when you power on the panel, you're welcomed with the screen that takes you through prompts. When you go through these prompts, one of the prompts that you get is, would you like to connect through your profile by our Promethean app with a QR code? You can access that. It automatically signs you into your panel. And the best one for our Active Panel 9 is we've incorporated an NFC card reader. So another way for teachers to log in, they just walk up to the reader, tap their card on it, and it automatically signs them in. When they sign out, same process, they take their NFC card, they sign out, and the security is that when they sign out, their digital footprint is wiped. So what else with security? Maybe I sign in with my card and I forget to sign out. And you're at home and you're thinking, I can't remember if I signed out. I know there's a group coming in. Well, you can also manage your account anywhere. You can go to your Promethean account online, and maybe you want to lock your NFC card. Maybe you left your card on your desk and you don't want people going in and out. You can lock your NFC card. If you lose your NFC card, you can go into your account and you can delete it. So we're really keen on protecting your information. Again, we talked about when you sign out, your digital footprint is erased. So any website, anywhere you went, everything is erased. So nobody can get into your files. We also have our panel management, Promethean's panel management, and that allows you to update remotely. So you as the IT or the admin can go in with our panel management. And again, this is our panel management, Promethean's panel management comes with our solution. There's no extra charge for that. And you're able to update your panels remotely. Another way, maybe the teacher is day to day and they're going to their break or they're going to their special or they're going to lunch and they don't want to sign out because maybe there are things on the computer that on the panel that they don't want wiped out right away. We also have the ability for teachers to protect their profile with a passcode where they can lock it. And then when they come back into the classroom, enter their PIN and then they can sign back in. And then finally, you can sign out from multiple platforms. We talked about that. You could go online, again, if you forgot, and sign out and disconnect from your account. So I'm going to stop there. We talked about connectivity, simplicity, and security. Of those three, do you have any that really you look at and you say, wow, this is great. This is what we need. This is something that's been long overdue. Anything that you want to share with your experiences? And I'm just going to pull up the chat here. I'll give you a few minutes if you're typing. So connectivity, security, and simplicity. Anything on any of those that just kind of just jump out at you like, wow, this is amazing. This is what we've needed. This is what is long overdue. Okay, doesn't look like I have any comments, so I'm going to move on. So the next pillar that we have is the adaptability. Teachers want to be able to adapt with whatever they're using already in the classroom and the way they're teaching, and have a solution that provides that adaptability. So again, teachers have been put in environments either asynchronous or remote or hybrid. We want to make sure that we can have that solution where they can adapt to wherever they are. So how does Promethean do that? We have put in our new AP9, Active Panel 9, a built-in microphone. So this allows teachers to record a lesson, but also capture the voice of the teacher. And if they're recording a lesson and the students are there, they can capture the voices of the teacher and the student. We also have a built-in recording app. So with this built-in recording app, not only do you have that built-in microphone, you launch that built-in recording app and your lesson will automatically record, capture those voices in an MP4 format. So great for teachers. Maybe they want to do a flipped lesson, a flipped classroom, where maybe they record the lesson and share it with their students for the next day. This is a great way for teachers to do that, recording their lessons. And another thing, just talking about recording, I know with the pandemic and stuff, we've been really focusing on the possibility of learning loss. And we want to make sure we provide students with lessons that are recorded that they can go back and reference later. We want to make sure they have those different type of resources to kind of take that gap and make it smaller, so that they do have anytime, anywhere where they can pick up on a lesson maybe they missed. And then again, our adaptability is screen share. It allows for all environments. So you're going to notice that some screen shares only allow within the network they're in. So it's only within that building. Our screen share goes beyond that. If we have a student at home and they're connecting to our screen share, we give them, if we allow them to share their screen, the ability to share what they have on their device. So there we go in that hybrid learning situation, and making sure everybody feels involved in the lesson. And then, of course, we work seamlessly with both Google and Microsoft in their environments. In fact, when you sign into the panel or when you first set up your profile, you're asked to, do you want to connect to a cloud account? And you're given the option of either Google or Microsoft to have easy access to your files in your cloud storage. So I'm going to stop there. Clever, do we have any questions or comments in the chat?
No, just Aaron was saying the sharing of recorded lessons is a nice feature. Aaron, I don't know, what do you use currently, and was that something that was a challenge with whatever panels you all have at the moment? Oh, okay. That sounds good. He's not necessarily where I was just curious
Okay,
if
great.
if that was a okay. That makes
And what
total
it,
sense.
and Clever, I know your ByteSpeed's new to us. Of these features that I've talked about, what do you think is like really exciting?
You know, I really think for sure just the ease of access remotely, like you mentioned, how a teacher can be at home and they don't have to worry about uh, students or other people accessing content or any other websites to be on and stuff like that. So I think that remote accessibility is definitely huge, especially obviously in the new world that COVID has brought us, and just offers a lot more flexibility. So that's something I'm excited to share more with them
Great, great,
audiences that we talk to. Yeah.
great. I love that. I love when our partners or customers are excited about new things that our product has added to our solution. So thanks for sharing that. So I'm going to move to our next pillar of Promethean, and this is our last one, and then we'll get into some. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm going to have you kind of give me your views on things, is longevity and future proof. So we know, again, that admin are given this nice amount of money to spend on updating their technology. So we want to make sure that they're making a wise decision, that anything that they purchase in the future is compatible with our solutions, be it, updated Chromebooks or updated PCs or MacBooks, whatever it is. We want to make sure our solution is ready to work very nicely with those. So what have we done on our Active Panel 9? We have a USB-C port with 100 watts of power. Now, I'm not a tech geek, but I do know that this is pretty amazing. USB-C alone, giving you both touch and your visual on your computer or display is amazing, but having the ability to go to 100 watts of power really is exciting for those future purchases that you may make. That when you plug that device in, that not only is it going to work seamlessly, but it's going to be supported by the right amount of power. Another great thing is when they plug this in, even if it's their laptop, that you're going to give them that ability to also be charging at the same time. Future-proof too with the built-in microphone for voice capturing. I think that's going to be a really big shift in education. I think we're going to see more and more, doing, like I said, that flipped classroom. So having that ability to record your lesson and capture your voice through our integrated microphone array, I think is amazing. We do have 7 forms of video inputs and outputs, which is great because we know some teachers still are holding on to those older pieces of equipment that maybe require a different type of input for them to connect. So we do want to make sure we can accommodate all of those. One of the other things I think is great is our LCD bonding. Now, this might not be a big thing to you, but I used to go to trainings, and one time there was a fly in the middle there. There was a spider one time. So having that bonded display is great. Not only is it great for that, so you don't get that condensation or you don't get those dust or whatever, but it also reduces the parallax, which means you can be sitting on the side. A student could be sitting more on the side of the panel as opposed to being direct front and center, and they're going to see a beautiful display. So this LCD bonding also reduces that parallax. And then finally, our Vellum Touch technology. It's Promethean's technology, and if you notice it right away on our whiteboard, you can have that ability to either write with your finger or your pen. In any case, really, our stylus is nothing fancy, so you could use, a Q-tip, you could use a chopstick, but with that Vellum Touch technology, it is a no lag, smooth interaction. So this is great. We're excited about this because teachers want that uninterrupted, no lag, no glitches, no freezing experience when they're writing on the whiteboard. So again, we have class, connectivity, longevity, adaptability, simplicity, and security. And how many of you, if you don't mind putting in the chat, what is your role in what you do? Are you tech? Are you admin? Because I'd like to kind of ask you, of those 5 pillars, which of those would be the most important to you when making a decision? District Tech Director. So Nate, if you don't mind me asking you, of those 5 pillars, and I'm going to go back to that screen actually, so you can kind of see those. Of those 5 pillars, which to you is the most important when you're, or one or two, when you're selecting something to have in your district? And anybody else out there, if you want to just put in your role, I would love to hear what you feel. And this helps me go back to our product and say, hey, you know what? We nailed it with this. This is what I'm hearing is important. So simplicity and ease of use. I love that as a tech director that you said that, because you run into all kinds of, a lot of times maybe they're not focused on the teacher, and you must be an amazing tech director because you're thinking of the teacher and their experience. So I love the fact that that's something that's high on your list of wants when looking at a solution.
And
Thanks,
Melissa,
Nate.
I'll add that I like the fact that, Promethean literally will get boots on the ground to the district to help schools, understand how to better use their product. So So at least that's something available that we can talk about as far as how that actually works out. But I like the fact that, I can get someone there to really take time with the teachers in person. Um, Thanks that COVID is hopefully almost over, but and show them how to use their panel. So
Great point, Clever. And I don't have anywhere in this slide. And Nate, you talked about you don't get a lot of time for training. So I do want to talk about that. So my team, which are the education consultants that go out and train, we do offer like 90-minute orientations from your local EC, but we also have a person that is based in our Alpharetta office that offers orientations 2 times a day on Wednesdays. We want to make sure we accommodate both, all of our different time zones. If you're ever, if that's something, if you do move forward with Promethean and you would love, just always know that we have many, many options for your teachers to either join one of those, or we have a site, Learn Promethean site, that has tutorials, either YouTube, or you could go and do PDFs, or any type of way that you best learn. We have blogs. All of that is provided through our support at Promethean. Again, we're a company that's education based, so we know how important it is to not only provide the solution, but offer the support when it comes to troubleshooting, but more importantly, offer the support when it comes to training. Thanks, Nate, for sharing that. I appreciate that. Is there anybody else that would like to let me know what role you're in and which of those 5 pillars would be a top priority for you? And if not, that's okay. And I'm going to go right here for you, Clever. Let me go back to that. And we'll wrap this up. I'll have you talk about this great giveaway that you're doing.
yeah, thanks. Thanks to our friends here at Promethean. They're really supporting us to be able to offer you a really favorable introductory price on any of your panels, all sizes. So whether it's the 65, 75, or 84-inch, would be able to help you there. 86-inch rather, I should say. But for every panel that you get with us for a limited time, you'd be able to get a free Intel NUC as well. There you can get even a higher end NUC slightly for just a little bit extra, but really for every single panel that you get a free NUC. You can attach that to the panel as extra compute power, utilize it elsewhere in your district where you need a few other computers. But just wanted you to know that that's something that's available to you. And thanks a lot to our friends here, Melissa and Danielle from Promethean team, just to work with us and providing this new special and announcing this exciting partnership for us.
Thanks, Clever. It's been a pleasure for me to be here. Again, as always, if you have customers reach out and they need more information, please feel free to send them my contact information. I would love to share anything when it comes to training and give them more information on that. I appreciate that having me on here today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. And so I'll go ahead and send the recording after this. But if this promotion sounds like something you'd like to get more information about, feel free to send me an email back, and I'll get you all the information you need to know. So thanks again for your time this afternoon. But have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.